Hello, Christopher. How are you?
Heaven,
You look good.
your face looks good.
Thanks.
Oh
Thanks.
man,
Let me
I
do
missed
the
you, man.
Mig. I miss you too. How have you been?
I've been all right. Suppose that's what this episode's gonna be about. Just one huge ass catch up.
There we go. I hate ketchup. Ugh.
Uh, I'm not a fan of ketchup either.
No.
It's kind of gross, but
Yeah, I
you
don't get
know,
it.
you know what? Let's just get started because
Let's do
that's
it.
what we do.
Let's do it.
Sorry, sorry, sorry. Sorry. I was watching I have golf on my other screen. I was
There we go.
watching uh Zalatoris tee off.
Oh, Mr. Zalatoris, the runner-up last year.
I remember that. He's a young guy, right? Tall, skinny
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
last year
remember
was
that.
his first day. Everyone made jokes about him looking like Happy Gilmore's caddy.
Yeah, I remember that because they kept showing side by sides on the TV.
Yeah.
But but man, it's been a minute. I mean, I miss seeing your beautiful face. You know, I was thinking about, I figured like one of the things that we were going to talk about is like things that have happened, you know, in the last 3 months,
Has
four
anything happened?
months. But that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, wait, like I was trying to pinpoint things that actually happened. I was like, in the grand scheme of things, it feels like nothing really happened. Like,
All
but
right.
emotionally, I mean, so many like such an ebb and flow every day. But then when you think about it in overall, if you try and pinpoint like specific things that happen, it's kind of like, huh,
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah,
really happened
basically.
on the day-to-day basis. Nothing really happened. I'm just like,
No, gas
what is
prices
my,
went
and
up.
you know, it's like I'm okay with that, you know.
Yeah, I don't.
But I did, a couple things did actually change for me. But I'm gonna let you go first because I always feel like I bogart the conversation. What's new with you, sir? What's new with you?
What is new? Let's see. What's last time we did this was before the new year happened,
Yeah, I believe our last episode was mid-December.
mid-December. So basically, my son's life has doubled in that time.
Oh yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, it's amazing. Time just flies by.
Yeah.
So back then he was just laying around doing nothing. Now he crawls around, climbs up on things, and is constantly trying to get into mayhem. And he's our little Professor Chaos. So um, it's been interesting. For me, mentally, things have been, uh, I'd say the last couple months have been outstanding.
Uh-huh.
And I'm in a much better headspace than I was prior to um, everything. Because, see, I know we talked about kind of, I had some uh, panic attacks, and we had kind of talked about it, but everything just kind of progressively got way worse. But now I'm in therapy, doing medication, and feeling much more 100% like myself, which has been just an eye opening, kind of like really being able to feel the change and not like I kind of got used to this normalcy of feeling okay with not feeling okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, once I started working through some issues and everything started working out, it's like, oh, so this is what it feels like to not just worry about every little thing and just kind of not kind of just feel normal again and laugh about things and enjoy all the little things again. So it's good. I've been very happy lately. So I'm actually gonna play golf for the first time since John Luke has been born tomorrow, which I'm very excited about.
Was the
Um,
last time you played? Sorry, reaching for some sunflower seeds for some reason, because sunflower seeds is conducive to great audio on a
yeah,
podcast.
just like cracking seeds into the microphone.
And I continue to put it in my mouth too. What
Yeah.
the hell? Um, Hold on 1 second, folks. I just spit. What am I doing? I don't know what to do with myself anymore. That reminds me of a story. I'll tell you about it in a little bit. But is this the first time you're playing golf since your tournament last year?
Uh,
Or did you play a
no,
couple
I
times?
played a couple times. I think I played the last time I played was like a month before he was born, or a couple weeks before he was born. So
Yeah. So I
yeah.
mean, thinking about like what would you what would you tell somebody who's on the fence like with mental health issues? What would be like the biggest thing you think that helped you eventually to seek out more help if you feel like talking about it?
Um, that's tough because you kind of have to depend on what your headspace is really.
Yeah.
Like I finally, I was at the point where I couldn't help but feel just anxious basically all the time. It's like
Mhm.
I was telling one of my coworkers basically that feeling you get before you have to give like a big speech or, those nerves. That's how I felt from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to bed, regardless of what was going on in my life.
So
Um,
that constant feeling of agitation, of anticipation,
yeah,
of something is going to happen, whether good or bad, that's how you felt all
all
the
the
time.
time. It just never, it never went away. I never felt relaxed. Um, so when you're dealing with every little thing, kind of just like would push closer to the edge, and then you have that reaction where you fear more of, oh my god, I'm on the brink of something bad again, and so every little thing just kind of like snowballs, and so it's kind of like learning how to work with those issues, and then obviously the medication also helps you kind of just not feel as um, stressed out, I guess. But you really have to work through that. You have to be willing to as well. Like it's not something that you can just say like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to therapy and they're gonna talk to me and make me feel better." Like it's more of like a guiding thing where they help you figure out where your triggers are, what's causing you to feel this way, and then you have to work on how you're gonna handle those situations once they do arise.
So I know a lot of people do one or the other. They do like medication or they do therapy. A lot of people do both, obviously. Would you say one helps more than the other, or is that just kind of an unfair kind of comparison?
Yeah, I think it's hard to compare. I mean, really, my guess would be it varies from person to person.
Hmm.
Um, for me now, I'm going to be going. I was doing every other week. Um, Now I'm going to be doing it once a month, just because I haven't had anything really to talk about that I had issues
Hmm.
with. But then again, as needed, I can always, you know, email my therapist and schedule, you know, sooner if I need to. Um, but I feel like I probably should have done weekly sessions at the beginning.
Hmm.
But then again, I was also just kind of like trying to figure out what was best for me. Um, but yeah, I think pairing medication and everything together, that was a huge help. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to try medication, but um, like it just got to the point like I couldn't control any of the stuff, and that was like I would work on all my techniques, and like I would go through I had my diffuser at work, kind of like put relaxing smells in, like I would take breaks and just
Oh, you
try
had a
not.
diffuser?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ooh, what
Yeah,
kind of smells?
uh I mainly use lavender because that's like
Ooh,
my
ooh,
favorite.
great
But
fucking choice right there.
right,
Oh,
I got like all the little sample ones, so I have all these different ones, and um there's like orange blossom and ocean breeze. So now I just use it to enjoy my office, which is great.
because you have an
Um,
office now. Because you're big boss man now.
yeah, but I think if you're ever on the fence of it, I think you should always just give it a try, see what
Try
happens.
at least one session.
Yeah, at least you got to give it a couple. First session, they're just kind of getting to get to know you, and
Mhm.
um,
Now, have you stuck with one provider, or were
yeah,
you so you're? I know a lot of people don't vibe with their first provider, their first therapist. So
yeah, yeah.
I'm
No,
glad you
I
found
lucked
someone.
out.
Yeah, I mean, hey, sometimes that's what life is just preparing for the worst and just being happy about the
Yeah.
luck that comes into your life, you
I mean,
know?
mind you, I had some shitty ER providers to get me through this process, but
Did you now I remember you telling me about some of your ER experiences and your first one and then the latest one you had
yeah,
was
yeah,
far
vastly
different.
different. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Cuz I think we talked about that first one on the podcast, didn't
we
we?
did. Yeah,
Yeah, how guy was like giving you shit. He was just basically saying, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And that was just a burnt out person. Like
oh yeah,
coming from someone who works in the emergency department, I see those nurses all the time. I constantly see those nurses all the time, and it's just like people. It, it, like during this hiatus, I asked people what it was like to how would you describe anxiety to somebody who's never experienced it before?
hmm
Let me see if I can bring up some of those answers. I
yeah.
forgot.
There's some good ones. Because I mean, I feel like everyone kind of has a different take on how it feels,
Exactly.
um, and everyone experiences it different levels, and even that, like, someone's one person's level 5 probably feels completely different than another person's level 5 anxiety.
Exactly.
And you kind of need to figure out exactly how best to react to it. I know in our text messaging we've talked about stuff, and
hmm
um, one of the things that helped me, like, it wasn't so much trying to, like, when I would try and avoid the feelings and just ignore them, they would get worse.
hmm
So it would more trigger that fight mode. And then one of my coworkers, she told me about this. She gave me this book that she's read, and it's got the dare effect. And basically,
You
it's
talked a little bit about the dare on here a little bit.
yeah. So basically, you're challenging yourself to um, accept the feelings and welcome them. You don't have to be
hmm
happy that they're there, but kind of just know that it is just energy that you're feeling. It's not
hmm
your body trying to kill you. It's not this or that. It's just, hey, what's up? You're here. I'm not going to let you bother me. And then as you do that, your body tends to relax because it's like, oh, you're not trying to push it away, so it can't be that bad, right? Kind of
hmm
thing.
Now, that also reminds me of something that I heard once that I like to take into heart is all feelings are valid, good and
Mm-hmm.
bad. You know,
Yeah.
if you're feeling good, that's nice, but don't give it more emotional weight than feeling bad because they're all emotions. But
Right.
we tend to gravitate towards the happy because obviously it makes us feel good. But it's okay to feel your feelings.
Yep.
So some of the things that I saw, how would you describe anxiety is anything you want to fix or hold, but it's out of reach, just storming around your aura. That was a good definition.
Yeah.
An overwhelming negative feeling that is all consuming.
Mm-hmm.
It's like being nervous all the time, but there is no reason for the nerves. You talked about that briefly, just that
Yeah.
anticipation feeling. Feels like locking your keys and phone in your car and you're alone at night in the woods. Oh, that's a very apt description there.
I think that was mine.
It wasn't yours?
I think so.
I think so too. Since I'm looking back on archives, I can't see who wrote it. I can
Right.
just see actually I can if I wanted to. Whatever. You know the static channel on the TV, that, but in an entire body, but somebody just keeps turning the volume up.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
yeah. That one was good. I didn't see that one when you posted
Yeah.
it, but
Because I
that one,
posted it after your answer, I think. So if that was your answer, that makes sense why you didn't see it.
that's so good.
Being nervous, anxious, 24/7, constantly wondering. So I just went on to the next story and I realized that was me when I took a flight to go see my family in St. Louis because my
Oh yeah.
grandmother had passed away. And that was my first flight during the pandemic.
Mm.
Oh, I
What was that?
we'll segue into that in a little bit because I have a whole fucking thing to talk
Yeah.
about in regards to that. Just suffice it to say, people suck. But
Yeah.
but how do you feel now? Do you feel good? Do you feel
Yeah. I feel real good.
you look better? Not to say that you look bad before, but your aura is definitely different. I
Oh
just
yeah.
like
No,
it's like
it's
before
a
I could
huge
tell you
change.
were enjoying doing the podcast, but I know it was a task.
Yeah.
and it was just
Yeah.
kind of dragging out. So that's why I knew it was time for a hiatus. Like I got the vibe. I needed a break too. I'm not gonna put that all on you because that's just unfair, but I needed a break myself. So what else has been going on with you?
Oh, what else? Not much, man. It's just I'll actually be back next month and for my golf tournament, which I'm super stoked about.
Are you coming to the Bay?
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh, definitely try and meet up so I can. Are you bringing Gianluca?
No, no, it's not gonna work out because
Fuck you, then.
well, Danielle started her new job and
Oh,
she
she has a new
doesn't
job.
have.
She doesn't. You guys don't work together anymore?
No, no. Oh, that's what I guess that's the biggest change that's happened since. Yeah, she works for the state now, so she works from home.
Oh, legit.
Yeah, so, but she doesn't really have enough PTO for us to.
Ah, I see. And she's not comfortable enough to try and work on the road yet. I get it.
Yeah, so next year we'll probably try and plan to get up for a whole week during the tournament. That way
Mm-hmm.
we can actually spend some time with people and do all that fun stuff. But
It's okay. You
yeah,
hate me. It's fine.
it's been good. Her transition to working from home, I don't hate you. Knock it off. Has been fascinating to say the least because you go from working in a building with people to just all of a sudden you're by yourself all day.
Yeah,
And
I could.
um,
I couldn't do that.
like I think for me personally, like I would love it. Like it would be great because I would just sit with the TV on, dog, and just work. And she keeps the TV off and actually focuses on stuff that she does. I mean, it's no like it would mean if I sit in my office all day by myself with my phone in front of me watching TV throughout the day. So
But that's
um,
okay. That's
having it on a big screen would just make my work day even better.
how much golf would you watch then?
I mean, probably same as I watch now. Just
Do you have golf on right now while we're recording?
no, 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 no.
I
I
do.
have to. I actually focus. But at Thursday, Friday at work, it was
It was just
on all, and that's the best part because we're playing in Georgia. So, when I get up and leave for work, they're already teeing off and
yeah. Like I saw,
all day.
like I saw my little notification pop across that said Tiger Woods teeing off at 1 p.m. So I was like, oh yeah. And then 10 o'clock hits. So I was like, oh yeah.
Yep, it's
10 o'clock,
that
1
time.
p.m. Eastern time. You know?
So it's great. And plus for the Masters, they have the Masters app, and they have so many different streams you can
Mm-hmm.
watch, and I love it. So
And I have ESPN Plus with as a part of my Hulu, so like I get to actually specifically watch if I feel like it, specific groups.
yeah,
And I just really like the comeback story of Tiger Woods, and so I've just been watching him.
everybody has,
Yeah,
and that's why
personal
I think
personal decisions of his life aside, but
Scheffler. I think that was kind of the Scheffler coming in as the world number one finally.
mhm.
Um, there was no pressure on him because the only thing people are talking about is Tiger Woods. Even right now,
Tiger Woods, y'all.
Tiger Woods is what 9-10 strokes out from first place, and all they're doing is talking about how he's hit some great shots today.
Yeah,
I know
Scheffler just gets to
hasn't.
go. You know what? Like, you know what? It's fine.
That's right, no pressure. I don't have to do anything. I just have to show up, and no one's gonna be really paying attention to me till later on. Um, but yeah, it's good.
But man, so anything else?
No, that's really it.
Hmm. That's crazy. Danielle has a new job
Yeah, I mean, she's essentially doing pretty much the same thing, just kind of a
at the state
higher
level.
level at the state level. Yeah, so
Hmm.
um, you know,
Hmm. All right. So what's been going on with me?
yeah. What's happening? What's new?
So in early January, my grandmother kept falling.
Hmm.
I didn't know about that. I didn't find out about that till I got to the funeral. But so I got the message that my grandmother had died and that uh, we should get out to St. Louis for the proceedings and whatnot. And I was I didn't know how I felt about that. It kind of had me like I was more sad that I didn't feel anything really. Just
Right.
because it was, it's, and I realize a lot of it is me tagging on so much of my emotion with my dad onto the rest of that family. Like,
Right.
I knew I was going to see my dad, but I was more so excited to see my uncle, Alvin, who is pretty much just me, but an adult.
Well, there you go.
So
Because you're not
which
an
is,
adult.
yeah, I know that's weird, huh? But speaking of, half the time I don't feel like an adult. Like I turn 40 next year.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just turned halfway to 70. So
yeah, it's fucking nuts, man. It's like, what is this? What is life? Who am I? Who
right.
am I? But so I go there. It's fucking cold. Like it
Oh.
is fucking cold. The
Oh
first,
yeah, it's
like,
January.
yeah, when we got off the airplane, it was crazy because we flew, because there's no direct flights anymore, just because that's how the world works anymore, especially with
Right.
Southwest. So we fly there. Our first stop is in Houston. So we get off the plane there in Houston. It's 80 degrees, and you can feel it once you like going up the gangway. And I was
Right.
like, oh, that's nice. And I have like sweats, a jacket on, because when we left the Bay Area, it was 38, 40 degrees because our flight was in the morning. So we are like, oh, cool. We get to St. Louis. It's 12 fucking degrees outside.
12 degrees is cold.
12 degrees is cold.
That's under freezing. So
Preparation H does feel good on the whole. Uh, so we get off the airplane and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Who left the refrigerator door open,
oh yeah.
So,
Yes.
and that's at 7 o'clock at night. It got to about 7 or 8 uh Fahrenheit and by the morning time.
Yep.
So
Mm.
like I left my hydro flask in our rental with a little water in it. I go out and it's like frozen.
I
I'm
mean,
just like,
it's in the freezer.
yeah, I was like, I didn't know that was possible. Is that
Mm.
possible?
Damn you, Mother
So
Nature.
like, and so it's cold, I get my White Castle because that's what I do.
There you
Speaking
go.
speaking of, I ate so shitty down there just because I mean, obviously I'm not cooking for myself, so I got to eat out every single time. So it's like I had White Castle, I had Waffle House, I had
Mm.
fast food, I had White Castle twice. I think the second
There
one
you
was what did me in because I got home and because like I couldn't sleep because like I was anxious that I was gonna miss my flight. So every time I'm gonna travel, I'm always afraid I'm gonna oversleep. So like I don't sleep very well the day before travel. That's just how I've always been. I think that is my biggest anxiety is being late to anywhere.
go. Yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah. So like I was just afraid I was gonna be late. So I went to sleep at like 7 o'clock. And then I woke up at 1. My flight was at like 3, was at like 5 in the morning. So I'm like, I'm not going back to sleep. So I just
No.
got ready. I was like, I'm hungry though. So then I ordered White Castle because they delivered at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
There you go.
So I was like, oh man. So I got a bunch of shit. I knew I shouldn't have ate, and I was grubbing. However, fucking DoorDash. I swear for Jesus. I was like, leave it at my door. They left it
Mm.
at the door outside on a side of a building that doesn't even face the street. If I can find the picture of where they placed it,
Oh
I
my
will find,
god.
because they sent it to me. So I'm just like, here's your food. I'm like, where the fuck is that? And I'm just like, what? So I literally go outside. I walk to the logical side of the building and I'm searching for it for like 5-10 minutes. I'm like, food's not here. So I'm like, I walked to the front and I was like, did anyone drop any food? He was like, no. He was African. I don't know why I decided to do his
Yeah, why not?
that was rude. But so then I was like, let me double check. So I walked to the other side, and that's where this stupid ass person had left it.
Wow. That's fun.
Yeah, and I was just like,
By the time you get to it, it's probably you have to microwave
luckily,
it.
luckily, it wasn't that cold. It was still okay.
Okay.
But in my hotel room had a microwave just in case. But insult to injury too. In regards to that, I got my drink wrong.
Oh, how
Like,
dare they?
however, it was a double-edged sword because they also gave me a large, and I only ordered a small.
Oh well.
So hey, whatever. So
Tomato.
yeah, tomato. Um, so that was the end of that. But during, it was very interesting. Like it was like when I saw my dad, it just felt like nothing.
Mm.
But then but it was hard to. I wanted to be mad at him so much just for
Right.
being so shitty. But he also had recently had a stroke, and he had deficits. So it was just like, I want to hate you. I want to be mad, but I
What
can't because you're a
like
crippled old man.
such an asshole.
Yeah, it's like, you are a crippled old man. How dare you take me away from my anger? But then when I started saying stuff like that, I was like, wait, nah, that ain't right. He can only be the type of person he is, and you can only be the type of person you are, you
Yeah.
know?
It's a good way to look at it.
So after that, I just kind of let it all go. I started helping him around, like, while he was like trying to hop around, because he has some pretty significant deficits. Like his arm is all contracted. He didn't do physical therapy because he is who he is. But yeah. So he was also living with my grandmother.
Not really.
So I don't know where he's living now, because I believe the city owned their house. So I don't know where he is. I guess I could call him, but forgiveness aside,
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it was nice seeing that side of my family, because I'll usually only see them every 2 years, because that's when we do the family reunion places. But I hadn't been to a family reunion in a while, so I hadn't seen any family in a long time. So it was nice to see family again. And all things considered, it was nice to see my dad, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so that was that. That was January. I totally forgot about that, So I was like, oh yeah, that was pretty eventful. But also, I started streaming on Twitch.
Oh yeah, I did
playing
see
video
that.
games. Yeah, that's actually pretty fun. One of the weirdest is, like, I don't think I'd be able to do that as well, or as well, quotations, as I do if we didn't do this, because then you get used to just organically creating conversation.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I don't think, because it's just one-sided when you stream on Twitch. You have a chat and they're conversing with you. Conversating is not a word. They're interacting with
Make it a
you.
word.
Yeah, let's make it. Fuck it. Speaking of words that aren't a word, is, how I always give shit about supposedly?
Yeah.
It is actually a word.
Oh, it's just used out of context.
Out of context, 1,000% of the time. So
how would you use supposedly?
And the only reason I knew it was a real word, only reason I knew it was a real word, because it didn't autocorrect it when I was typing it. So I was like, wait a minute. So supposedly means as may be conceived or imagined. Supposedly means according to what is generally assumed or believed. So one is imagination versus reality in essence. But it's like snuck is not a word either. The proper word is sneaked. Sneaked.
I sneaked into the movie theater and saw a film that I wasn't supposed to see.
Have you been getting a lot of spam text messages randomly recently?
Yeah, all the time.
Like,
I keep winning stuff, and
yeah,
I'm just like my pin for Apple and other stuff. I'm like, thanks.
The Apple thing the other day might have been me, because I was trying to log into something. I don't remember.
I don't know. Yeah. And then all these stupid spam calls of people trying to buy our house, like all the time. Is your property for sale? No. Do you know anyone who's trying to sell their property? No. Stop calling me.
That's funny that you say that. Like, I was getting pho sometime in the last couple months, and I was sitting there eating, and there was a lady sitting in front of me eating, and she had just finished eating, and then she was on the phone, and she was making those calls to people. She
One
was
of those
like,
people, huh?
I'm just like, that's a thing, and then I didn't even think about that till you just said it right now. But
Yeah, they call all the time.
that's
And
crazy
it's
that then
like,
there's people do that. That they do that
yeah,
was
and the
like,
worst part is like they call from like local numbers too. So I'm always like, is this something that I actually need to talk to somebody about? It's never. I just
I
left them a
mean,
voicemail.
my
But
thought process is if I don't recognize your number or even think that you're going to call me, I'm not going to answer the phone. If it's important, you'll leave a message.
yeah, I tend to answer a lot in the off chance that someone just wants to give me a bunch of money by accident.
Hey,
They always,
fingers crossed,
I mean, they always just want to buy the house and not just pay it off for me, which would be way better. Like, maybe I'll ask them that next time. Like, are you willing to sell your house? Like, well, I'll just take the money and pay it off myself and live here for free. That would be great. Are you willing to do that?
That'd be great.
Then they'd probably never call back again. But
Probably not. But yeah, I started streaming. That was fun. I enjoy it. I got a pretty significant, base already. So I was like, I feel good. Like I don't
there you
stream
go.
on a regular basis, and I think that's kind of a hindrance. I just stream when I'm not gonna because my computer's still in my room. So if I'm streaming and talking to people, Gloria can't enjoy the niceness that is our room. Well,
Yeah.
she can, but then she always doesn't feel like she feels like she doesn't want to intrude or whatnot. And I was like, oh baby, thanks. But so yeah, I started doing that. I know briefly before we went on hiatus, I talked about doing the D&D podcast and I'm part of now. I officially joined that. My first episode was premiered last week with that. I'll post that in the description of
There you
this
go.
episode. So do that.
D&D.
It's D&D Beyond, like a D6, like a D6.
Is
But
that
man,
like a dice thing?
yeah, a D6, a six-sided die,
Oh.
usually used for damage.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, totes, totes,
Yeah, you
totes.
put in the potato launcher and shoot them at things, right?
But but yeah, man. I want to learn how to make a homemade potato launcher or something that the FBI or CIA is not going to track and come to my house now.
I don't think they track potato launchers, but
Hmm.
then again,
Okay, just making sure.
yeah,
I
just
love America.
yeah. Oh man, gotta be
Oh
careful. They're always listening. That reminds me. Have you seen we just watched the movie The Mitchells versus the Machines.
no, but Gloria and Elliot were watching that yesterday, and I was in the middle of streaming. Otherwise, I would have sat down and watched it. Like, and they watched it a while ago too. But that's a long movie. Like it's
Yeah, it
over
was.
2 hours long.
Yeah, I didn't
Just
realize how
like
long it was.
yeah, but no, I hear it's pretty good. Is it good?
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I liked that.
I like it a lot. What
I
else have you been
liked
watching?
it a
That's a good.
lot.
That's a good question. Like, what else are you watching?
Let's
Have what you
see.
watch changed based because Gianluca is watching TV with you, or are you still at that point where you don't care because he doesn't understand?
No, I didn't understand. I watched. I've been watching a lot of MythBusters again.
Yeah.
I finished How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, good, good.
Um,
What did you think of the finale?
uh, the second time around, I didn't hate it as much as I didn't like it the first time. But I realized watching it again how douchey Ted was,
Oh yeah,
and just
total
like
douche.
he's like, I was like he tried to come across as like this romantic, like all I want to do is find the one, but in between, like he just kind of was a dick,
Mhm.
and like didn't deserve love until the end, which was,
Yeah,
I guess,
the
what
story.
the story. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was good. It was all right. I didn't hate it, but wasn't my favorite ending to a show. Um, what else? And that's really it. Oh, actually, I watched Rescue Me. Have you ever watched it?
Really? No. I mean, occasionally I would catch an episode here or there for like a few seconds and then change the channel. But people who watch it really enjoy it.
Yeah, I did. My buddy at work, he told me to watch it. He's like, and I was like, what is it like? I didn't even I honestly, it came out in what 2004, I think it was.
Was it that
And
long ago?
Yeah, it was, and because it's like New York City firefighter, so like there's a lot of stuff about 9/11 in it,
Uh-huh.
and but you know Dennis Leary in it, like I was like, is he actually doing like some serious stuff? Like I really had no idea. I knew it was a fire department in New York City, and I assumed something with 9/11, and so I thought it was like this drama, and he's like, dude, it's a comedy, and I was like, for reals? And then he's like, well, it's like a dramedy. He's like, it's
Mhm.
like 70-30, like 70% comedy, 30% drama. Dude, it is not. There's like way more drama than there is comedy. Like there's some seriously funny things, but some of the stuff they're talking about that they're making jokes about are serious, serious subjects. Like there's a lot of like heavy drinking, suicide stuff, and just like I mean it gets deep and dark real quick right away. Um, but it was pretty good.
Oh, you watched the whole thing?
I watched the whole thing. I think it's like 6 seasons.
Oh wow. But it was an
Um,
FX show, so there probably wasn't a lot of episodes per season, right?
some seasons had I feel like they had close to like 20
Oh
episodes,
Jesus.
something like that, maybe 15 episodes. I don't know.
You know what? I think, and I've talked about this before, but like one of the things I do enjoy more so about TV shows coming on streaming platforms is the shorter seasons. Like I know a lot of people like
Oh
the
yeah,
longer drawn out things, but I like the short, concise story. Like I like not necessarily short and concise, but I like when there's no filler episodes, you
yeah,
know, because that's what you get a lot when you um when you when the show goes on forever. Like don't, not to say that they're not good episodes, but then you get so much. Like I'm still in the middle of my Star Trek rewatch right now.
mm,
That is so many hours. Like each season, each show has about 170 some odd hours of it.
jeez,
Yeah, so and I'm also watching the movies as well. So that's kind of put everything I've been watching on hold.
okay, okay.
So and that's fine. That just gives me something to do once. And I was thinking about doing a Star Wars chronological rewatch when I'm finished with Star Trek.
There you go. Why
Because
not?
but what I said about fillers is like I realize there's so many filler episodes in those shows. Not to say they're bad episodes, it's just they don't really contribute to the overall plot. Like
Right.
there's a so it's you get character development in there, but then there's you have the possibility of having some really shitty episodes, you know, of
Oh yeah,
like what the fuck was that?
yeah. Was that necessary? We could have probably cut out everything,
That
right?
could have been an
Everything.
email.
Right, exactly. That is the essential. That could have been an email version
Yeah.
of a television show for sure. But yeah, Rescue Me was pretty good. I like the actually I really like the way that one ended as well. But there's a lot of there. It gets kind of dark, and I had to take some breaks from it. Like that's one of the things I've definitely realized is like I can't just watch or
Mhm.
listen to all my true crime dark things because it just takes my mindset into a different realm that I don't want to be in all the time.
Mhm.
So
Are you still listening to true crime still?
no, I haven't listened to anything. I haven't listened. I don't think the last time I listened to that, especially that one that I was listening to that had a lot of like 911 call recordings and stuff.
Oh.
I have not listened to that one in since before John Luca was born because I could not handle it.
Yeah, that's a lot. Um but yeah, I think we did it. I think that was a
Yeah,
good episode back, you know. We caught up a little bit. We let the listeners know what we've been up to. Um I'll say this, like I didn't realize like the first week or so was fine. You know, I was like, "Oh, that's cool. My Saturdays are chilling." But then like as it went on, I was like, "God damn it. Oh no, I missed it. What's my life now?" I didn't realize how much I look forward to doing this.
yeah,
I mean, I knew how much I look forward to doing it, but I didn't realize how much an integral part of my weeks this became, and
right.
I enjoy it. I really enjoy doing it, and I like talking to my friend. I mean, it's just it's it's definitely cathartic. It's therapeutic. It helps a lot, and I implore people to find something that helps. You know,
Yeah,
whatever it is. things are theoretically getting back to more normal, but what the hell does that even mean?
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it's been
1 week since you laughed at me.
it's been great. Like, yeah, this thing, like, we started going to the store without masks. Honestly, I mean, we shop early in the morning anyway.
Yeah.
So, but the first time it was like a couple weeks ago. We went to the store, it was like 7:30 in the morning, and
Uh-huh.
like normally, like we're like one of the few people in the store with a mask on, aside from like people that actually work there.
Uh-huh.
At this like time we show up, we're like, yeah, we'll bring the mask, but we probably don't need them. And because we used to have a cover for John Luca, but now it's like he doesn't like it and just cries the whole time. So it's like we can't keep him covered. So if he's exposed, why
Yeah.
am I protecting myself, kind of thing? And like we pull in the parking lot, like everyone in the park, there's like 3 or 4 people in the parking lot walking in the store with their masks on. I'm like, geez, why do all these people have masks? We get inside the store, we're those assholes going in without masks on. So
Oh
yeah,
God, I don't know how I still wear masks in places just because I don't feel comfortable enough yet to do it. It's not
yeah,
so much me protecting myself; it's protecting other people from me, since I still work in and out of the hospital. Like
yeah.
the other day, I had to do CPR on a patient who was COVID positive, so I'm just like, and this was a big lady, and I'll tell
Mm,
more about that on the next episode. But
sounds good.
remind me, oh, let me write that note down actually.
Big lady CPR.
Big lady CPR. And just the general clusterfuck that was.
Oh,
But
totally, man.
I love you, man.
I love you too.
Remember, everybody, be kind to one another. And if you think you can do something and you think you can't do something, both are right. Choose the first one though.
There you go.
Later, everybody.
Bye.